Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Speak Slow English, the podcast for intermediate English learners who want to speak confidently and naturally. I'm your host, Emily.
And I'm Jake. We're so happy you're here with us today. Emily, I am really excited about today's topic.
Me too, Jake, because I think it's something that almost every single language learner feels. Today, we're talking about how to stop thinking and start talking.
Ooh, that's a big one. Let me ask our listeners a question. Have you ever been in a conversation, you know the words, you want to say something, but you just freeze?
Mm-hmm.
You're thinking and thinking, translating in your head, trying to find the perfect grammar, and then the moment is gone. The conversation moves on.
Oh, I know that feeling so well. It's so frustrating. It's like you have a little traffic jam in your brain. All the words are there, but they can't get out.
A traffic jam in your brain. That's the perfect way to describe it. Well, today, we are going to help you clear that traffic. We'll talk about why it happens and give you some really simple, practical tips to just let the words flow.
Exactly. So grab a cup of tea, get comfortable, and let's dive in. Jake, let's start with the big question. Why do we do this? Why do we think so much before we speak?
I think the number one reason, for me and for so many people, is the fear of making mistakes.
Yes, the desire to be perfect.
Exactly. We think, oh no, what if I use the wrong tense? What if my pronunciation is bad? What if they laugh at me? All these what-ifs create so much pressure.
I know, right? We have this image in our heads of speaking perfect, fluent English like a movie star, but that's not realistic, especially when you're learning.
Not at all. I remember when I was learning Spanish. I was in a restaurant in Madrid and I wanted to order a coffee with milk. Simple, right?
Sounds simple.
Well, I was so nervous about getting the gender of the words right that I just panicked. I think I ended up pointing at the menu and saying something like, "Milk coffee for me, please," which was probably a total mess grammatically.
But did you get your coffee?
I did. The waiter smiled, understood completely, and brought me a perfect cup of coffee. He didn't care about my grammar, he just cared that I was trying to communicate.
That's such a great story because it's so true. The goal of language is communication, not perfection. But that fear is so powerful. It makes us silent.
Right. Another big reason, and this is related, is what I call the internal translator.
Ah, yes, the little voice in your head that's speaking your native language.
Exactly. You think of the sentence perfectly in your language, then you start translating it word for word.
And it just doesn't work.
It really doesn't, because sentence structures are different, idioms are different, the way we express ideas is different. It makes your English sound very unnatural and slow.
It's like you're doing mental gymnastics. It's exhausting. You're doing double the work. First thinking in one language, then translating to another.
It is. In all that time you spent translating, the conversation is flying by. So we have fear of mistakes, and we have the internal translator. What else?
I think there's also the pressure to find the perfect word. You know, you want to use impressive vocabulary.
Oh, definitely. You think, there's a better word for this, and you search your memory for that amazing word you learned last week.
Right, but while you're searching, you could have used a simpler word and kept the conversation going. Good is often better than spending 30 seconds searching for magnificent.
That's such a good point. Communication over complexity. Simple and clear is always better than complicated and silent.
And I think the last piece of the puzzle is confidence. Sometimes we feel shy or we think our ideas aren't interesting enough. It's less about the language and more about how we feel about ourselves.
That's a really deep and important point. Your voice and your ideas are valuable, no matter what language you're speaking.
Okay, so we understand the problem. The fear, the translating, the search for perfection, the lack of confidence. It's a lot. But the good news is we can change this.
Yes, let's get into the solutions, the practical things our listeners can start doing today to turn off that overthinking brain and just start talking. What's your number one tip, Emily?
My number one tip is a mindset shift. You have to truly, deeply accept that mistakes are not just okay, they are good. They are necessary.
I love that. Not just okay, but good. Why are they good?
Because every mistake is a learning opportunity. When you make a mistake and someone corrects you or you correct yourself later, that memory is strong. You're much more likely to remember the correct way next time.
That's true. The things I remember most in Spanish are the funny mistakes I made.
Also, mistakes are proof that you are trying. You are taking a risk. You are stepping out of your comfort zone. That is something to be proud of.
Absolutely. Think about it from the other side. When a non-native speaker talks to you in your language and makes a small mistake, what do you think?
I think, wow, that's amazing. I feel happy and impressed that they are making the effort to speak my language. I don't focus on the mistake at all.
Exactly. And that's how most people will feel about you speaking English. They will appreciate your effort, not judge your mistakes. So, step one, give yourself permission to be imperfect.
I love that. Permission to be imperfect. Okay, so we've changed our mindset. What's a practical action we can take?
Okay, my next tip is something you can use in a real conversation. I call it the 3-second rule.
Ooh, I'm interested. What's the 3-second rule?
It's simple. The moment a thought or an idea comes to your mind that you want to share, you have 3 seconds to start speaking. 1, 2, 3, go.
Wow, that's fast. So no time for overthinking.
Exactly. It's a trick to bypass the internal editor, that critical voice that says, wait, that's not right. You just have to open your mouth and start.
What if you don't know the full sentence yet?
That's okay. You don't have to have the perfect sentence ready. Just start with a simple phrase like, oh, that's interesting because, or that reminds me of, or even just, well, I think.
Right, so you're just getting the conversation engine started. Once you start talking, the other words will often follow more easily.
Totally. It's about building momentum. The hardest part is starting. The 3-second rule forces you to start.
I love that. It's so active and practical. Okay, my next tip is about what you can do when you're alone to build this habit, and that is to start thinking in English.
This sounds great, but also a little difficult. How do you just start thinking in a different language?
You start really, really small. You don't have to think complex philosophical thoughts. Start by narrating your world. It's like being a sports commentator for your own life.
I like that. So what does that look like?
When you wake up, you can think, okay, I'm getting out of bed. I'm walking to the kitchen. I'm going to make coffee. Just simple present tense sentences about what you're doing.
Ah, I see. So you're creating a direct link in your brain between the action and the English words without the translator in the middle.
Exactly. You can do it anywhere. When you're on the bus, you can look out the window and think, I see a tall building. There's a red car. That woman is walking her dog.
That's brilliant. It's like a private English practice session you can have all day long. No pressure, no one is listening.
Right. And as you get more comfortable, you can move on to slightly more complex thoughts like, I feel happy today because the sun is shining, or I need to remember to buy milk after work.
Over time, this practice makes English feel less like a foreign language and more like just another one of your languages. It makes it more natural to access when you need it in a conversation.
It really does. You're warming up your English brain all day long.
You know, Emily, speaking of things that are really effective, I hope our listeners are finding these tips useful.
I hope so too. And if you are enjoying our chat and finding it helpful, this is a perfect moment to show your support for our channel, Speak Slow English.
That's right. It takes just a second, but it makes a huge difference for us. Please take a moment to click the like button, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our future episodes.
And we love hearing from you, so leaving a comment is always amazing. It helps us know what you like and what topics you want to hear about next. Your support allows us to keep making this content for all of you.
It really does mean the world to us. Thank you all so much. Okay, so we've talked about changing our mindset, using the 3-second rule, and thinking in English. What's another tip, Emily?
My next tip is about practicing the physical act of speaking, and for that, I recommend a technique called shadowing.
Shadowing. Okay. Can you explain what that is for anyone who hasn't heard of it?
Of course, shadowing is when you listen to a native speaker and you repeat what they say at the same time, like a shadow. You try to copy their pronunciation, their intonation, their rhythm, everything.
So you're not thinking about creating your own sentences, you're just focusing on the sounds.
Exactly. It's a physical exercise for your mouth. You're training the muscles in your tongue and lips to make English sounds comfortably and naturally.
That's a great way to think about it. It's like going to the gym for your English accent. Where can people find material to shadow?
Well, they can use this podcast. You can listen to a sentence from me or Jake and pause the recording and repeat it. Or you can use short clips from movies, TV shows, or audiobooks. Anything with clear speech.
I think that's a fantastic exercise because it builds muscle memory. So when you do want to speak, your mouth already knows how to form the words. It reduces the thinking you have to do.
Exactly. It helps you get the music of English, the natural rhythm and flow.
That's a great point. It really is like music. And speaking of flow, I have another tip that can help when you feel stuck. It's about using conversation fillers.
Conversation fillers. Yes. Tell me more. What do you mean by that?
Okay, these tips are great, but I think we should get our listeners involved right now. Let's make this interactive.
I love that idea. Okay, everyone who is listening, we have a little homework assignment for you, but it's fun homework, I promise.
The best kind of homework. What is it?
We want you to take the theme of this episode, stop thinking, start talking, and put it into action. Or in this case, stop thinking, start writing.
Okay, I like this. So what should they do?
We want you to go to the comment section of this episode right now if you can, and write 1 or 2 simple sentences.
And the topic is easy. Just tell us one thing you did today. It can be anything. For example, I listened to a podcast this morning. Or I ate an apple for a snack.
Yes, or I saw a cute dog on my walk. Super, super simple. The goal here is not to write a perfect, complex sentence. The goal is just to do it, to practice communicating without overthinking.
Don't worry about mistakes. Just write the first thing that comes to your mind. We will read every single comment, and we will be so excited to see you all practicing and building this amazing community.
It will be wonderful. So that's your challenge. Go leave a comment and tell us one thing you did today.
Wow, this has been such a great conversation, Emily. I feel really motivated, and I hope our listeners do too.
Me too. If there's one main message to take away from today, I think it's this. Be kind to yourself. Learning a language is a journey with ups and downs. It is not a race or a test.
That's so true. It's about progress, not perfection. The goal is to connect with other people, to share your ideas, to learn about new cultures. The grammar and vocabulary are just tools to help you do that.
So the next time you're in a conversation and you feel that fear, that hesitation, just remember our chat today. Take a deep breath, give yourself permission to make a mistake, and just go for it.
Your voice, your thoughts, and your personality deserve to be shared. Don't let the fear of imperfect English keep them locked inside.
That's a beautiful way to end it, Jake. Well, sadly, that's all the time we have for today's episode. Thank you all so much for joining us on Speak Slow English.
We really do appreciate you spending part of your day with us. And don't forget your homework. We can't wait to read your comments.
We will be back next episode with a brand new topic to help you on your English journey.
Until then, keep practicing, keep learning, and remember to stop thinking
And start talking. Bye, everyone.
Bye.